So I just when I went into the quantum computing, or I went into the semiconductor, when I looked like what might be the future of computing. Like I do care about that a lot. I'm sure you all know that. So uh, I just got just I just thought we need to learn about everything. Just basics physics, and science in the product context play a role in everything. So I just thought we should learn something from that. So I don't get a proper degree or anything like that, but I just go into the some books, some PDFs, some YouTube videos. Of course, YouTube videos are great source when you think about, like, when you're learning something, people will ask like that, is that YouTube video you learn from YouTube video in that specific part? What's wrong with that? If it's article or YouTube video or blog or books, anything, it's information, it's knowledge, whatever the ways, it's better for you. You can use whatever the ways you want. So I just when I exploring the quantum computing, I just found that there's lots of method in quantum computing, right? And trapped ion or other kind of like in the manipulating other kind of a thing, like spins also. I think so. Spintronics play a role in quantum computing also. So I just thought, okay, what is Spintronics? And this is like there's another thing like a Valleytronics. What is Valleytronics? Something like that. I just kept on going. So there's another like a superconducting qubit also. So there's a it doesn't. I'm not matching that with the Spintronics and the Valleytronics. I'm just saying that's in the broader context. That is one kind of a topic. So um, I just want to ask like a what is spintronics? Electrons into magnet spin transport electronics is a spin of the electron is intrinsic angular momentum. Okay, you get the electrons behave like a tiny magnet with two orientations: spin up, spin down. Yeah. So it's like it's representing uh, the classical thing, right? One zeros and one. And I just thought, like, if it is going to play in the quantum role, like, will it be in the upside zero and one at the same time? But I just got a doubt in that. I just a bit confused about that. But let's keep going. And unlike electronics, which require to move charge current, generate spintronic for switching spin direction, this is much more. I'm sure this will be energy efficient. Uh, because it's not taking the current for far and back. So it will be the energy efficient in this AI era, or the upcoming era. We need much computing, so energy efficient is much important. So yeah, another main topic is like when I talk about the magnetic random access memory, RAM. We used to hear about the RAM, and RAM is a, I think RAM or any other specific based like a random access memory is just it doesn't contain like a huge amount of memory. Like they have been using that for the embedded chips like IoT, so other kind of a things like for the automobile or something like that. So it's a maximum it will go like for 1 GB and something like that. So I forgot which exactly one is, or just have to find that in my old PDFs that I have got. So I just want to say, like, it's a non-volatile memory used to store data, offering a fast rate speed while retaining data. So the sensor has magneto-resistant effect keys. Yeah, magneto-resistant effect. I have to learn about the. I already have learned about that a little bit, but I just think if we has to go into that much more, I can go into that, and I have another one kind of a paper which discuss about that a lot. So Valleytronics. Valleytronics, okay. The data carrier in it, 2D material model. Molybdenum for disulfide, disulfide graphene. 2D materials is some kind of a special materials which could play a huge role in the future because of the transistor size, and they're exploring the 2D materials beyond the 0.5 nanometer in the angstrom world. Uh, I think angstrom world starting in the 1.8 nanometer, but I just think the transistor size won't be able to work as a transistor below 0.4 nanometer. Yeah, 0.4 nanometer. So I guess so. So MOS to so play a role in various systems. When you look, you can find out that level. Just care about like how 2D material is also going to play a role in the memories. Uh, when we go to the Spintronics or the quantum, the sensor like a IoT device or the embedded chips, how it's going to affect those fields is also the main concern of mine. So electromagnetic is difference 2 can be just go 0 1. Okay, so the value 1 value 2, it's like everything is going like a 0 and 1 kind of a thing. But if it is enter the quantum perspective, I think it can be both or everything at the same time kind of a thing, which could lead to devices that retain information for longer by Valley coherence. Also, complex. Okay, it also doesn't. Okay, it doesn't require complex magnetic fields like spintronics. So I think the overall Valleytronics might be the possible thing, but I don't know. We just have to go much more into that. Yeah, I just wonder like what kind of a we just enter into the atom, right? So we're just going to manipulate everything, electrons, neutrons. To, we just the photons also play a great role in the quantum computing and everything, right? So I just have to mention this because I have to say that like when I find out the ASML is the only company with the photolithography process, I just wonder like how they're making those lasers, like it's a CO2 laser with the tin, and it's just aiming and shooting. There's a multiple mirrors play a huge role in those things. So I just wonder how I should have to learn about the optics. So I just went into learn more about optics a lot. So I have a great books on that also. I just learn a bit, so I think I have to keep going on that because I think at some point, okay, we're not going to pass. Uh, the computing is like it's like a very limited resources for the people who can manufacture those things like Nvidia or AMD. The TSMC is the only big giant doing that from by the ASML's lithography processor. Not only lithography play a role, there's a lots of method playing a role in that, like etching or the like a packaging. Everything plays a role, like a FinFET. So everything play a role. So but still photolithography is like an important part. I just wonder like when lasers when we go beyond 0.4 nanometer, how lasers are going to play a role in those things and what we can learn from that, or how we can create those lasers by ourselves. I think it's a weird idea, but it's worth it, right? So other emerging atomic level computing beyond charge spin valley, scientists are exploring other quantum properties to create exponential computing. The common thread quantum of the ultimate storage qubit instead of qubit is the quantum computing's like a main source, like main thing. Quantum bit which can be 0 and both simultaneously. I just forgot where did I learn that another thing which is like it just won't be like a zeros and one. It will just keep going. Okay, analog quantum computing, it's not just limited to one zeros and one. It will keep going 1 2 3 4 5. It just makes it like that. But I just want to ask more questions about that as well. So ways for including the spin single quad harnessing other properties qubits. Okay, yeah, qubits can be formed by using other methods. I already said that in the first place, right? There's lots of method for that, and every single company trying that. But when it comes to quantum computing, I think I just wonder, like, is that truly there's anyone just producing the product or the real value? I mean, I know the Inflection, I think the company, which doing a lots of military and other related projects. I just wonder, like, is that they really doing the production? So it's just it's really hitting the. I hate when companies say they care about the revenue. I think revenue is not important. I think the important part is net income, like how much net income it makes after the losses or the cost. So I just wonder, like, which quantum computing company actually making money. I'm not saying like we don't think about quantum computing. Actually, I have a great belief, and I'm trying a good amount of energy to the quantum computing as well. Like, I think it has the great potential, but you know that when we need to do the classical things, so they said we can't do that in the quantum computing because it's power. It's so much power we can't use for this small thing like a F1 formula. We can't use a F1 formula car for our daily routine. So it's kind of that. So yeah, I've said about this, right? Including the spin of single electron or quantum state of trapped ion or photon light particle. Excitonics. So which is a bound state of electron in the hole, a missing electron it leaves behind. The uh, when it goes first I just went into it's a different section about the water purification, membranes and everything. There's just create a hole in like one part, and we can store the charge in that specific part. It's sort of like that. So I think it going to play some kind of role like that. Missing electronic, the mechanism information encoded the accidents themselves for their internal properties, and they can move energy through material without charge, promising extreme performance. Okay, I think other than the basic classical computing, everything is power efficient. Information is encoded themselves and their internal property, and they can move energy through a material without moving an electric charge. Okay, if there's no electric charge, it won't cost like a much more power consumption. So wave-based computing. Okay, phononics. Yeah, I'm sure everyone is just overhyping not just overhyping. I actually love photonics, but there's another thing, phononics. So it is mechanical or thermal vibration, sound or heat. I just thought they only use the sound, but they're going for the heat also. So often in form of phonons, quantized units vibrational energy. Okay, controlling how these waves propagate through material, one can quite logicate similar to how an electric signal is for any platform. Yeah, I think wave-based computing. I don't know, I don't know at which level or any other companies just seriously doing that on the basis. If it is really going to provide a value, I think everyone should try that. So I just want to ask, is there could you? Oh, wait, just messed
That's
up.
a great question.
Just messed up again. Wait.
That's a fantastic question.
Wave-based computing
Wait,
is emerging this moves away encoding information discrete such as electronic signals like this as the continuous properties of waves such as amplitude, phase. Okay, it's not going to use the amplitude, phase, frequency. The core is the operation can be performed instantaneously. It's too medium, leading the potential ultra fast and extreme. Okay, this might be very fast. I think so. The core concept computing with international digital company you can to educate in a wave-based computing. You can think of the calculation happening via wave physics. So this is why I said I want to go to the every topic in the physics as much as soon as possible, because not just physics. The first I have another project also. It's about like a fiber optic cables. So fiber optics sensors. So I'm just thinking how big role photonics playing in role in everything. Actually, this is not photonics, this is phononics, but still, I'm saying everything just connected in a fun way. So we should of course need to learn the basics as much as possible. I think the input data encoded input is a way, for example, the amplitude of a signal processing encoding data. The input numbers data are encoded as a properties of a okay. Where is directed through a careful engineered structure like metamaterial, okay, crystal, or even a small room. You know that when you have to learn about materials or the lights or everything, like a crystal play a huge role. I don't first I don't know it has that much value, but when I went into all of those papers, I just realized that the crystal is so important, and metamaterials like the glasses, the optics, it also play a big role. The manipulated wave emerges and results in influence patterns of light of the speed of light or sound speed of sound wave. The calculation here efficiently performed the speed of wave propagation, which is extremely fast. Type of wave-based computing, phononics, sound vibration. Okay, there's much more wave-based computing, I think. Magnonics, spin waves. Wow. I think we just going into the new topics, and probably I just make this into the another video, and I just explain that the way I understand. So this is all about like what I'm going through and what I learn, and how can I implement those things to make some great innovations with the great people. So have fun.